Hello and welcome. Hello and welcome back to Accounting Stuff. I'm James, and today we're talking financial statements: the income statement, the balance sheet, and the cash flow statement. I'm going to try and explain all the basics in under 8 minutes,
Peacock,
which is going to be a
I've been
challenge
talking a lot
because
today.
we have a little puppy
I'll
here
make sure I
who's
catch this.
trying to bite my finger. So let's get started. What are financial statements? Financial statements are reports that summarize the activities and financial
I don't know if
performance
30 on
of a
MP
business.
was.
They're prepared
MP
at
was
the
not a
end
bad
of each
idea, but it's
accounting
like
period,
MP
and
guards
they're
running some
designed to
stuff
give
falling down.
investors and lenders a feel for a business's financial
No,
health.
that's not what I'm doing.
The three main financial
We're going to be
statements are the balance sheet,
XLing
the income statement,
node
and
blender,
the
or
cash
Blender's
flow
nodes
statement.
to do
Now I'll explain
a
how
lot of these
each
charts. You
these
just
work
generally
with
want to
an
XL
example.
this, right? You want to
Tealicious
have this
is
on
a
a chart so you can
family-run
print one out,
business that
whether long
produces a
form or to your
popular
computer,
blend of black tea.
to
Their
do this, but
financial year
there's
has
one
come
part
to
of
a
it
close, and they
specifically.
finished putting together their financial statements. So let's
Hopefully
look
this
at them.
is pretty good.
We'll start
We gotta
with
know about
the
this
balance
stuff
sheet.
first.
What is a balance sheet? The balance sheet is a financial statement
Kinda
that
up,
gives
down
us a
on the
snapshot
candlestick
of a
because
business's
candlestick's red and
assets,
green, but
liabilities,
it's also in flux,
and equity
right?
at a single point in time. The balance sheet is also called the
You're gonna get to your
statement of
paycheck in a
financial
minute.
position, and
Your
it looks
balance
like
sheet on
this.
cash statement.
In the
No,
header, we
the
have the
blender tone.
business's name, followed by the name of the financial statement. And directly below that, we have the point in time that we're looking at.
Here.
A snapshot of December 31st.
See, in a way,
On the left-hand
you
side
know
of
it's
the
not the
balance sheet,
business
we have a
everything,
list of
obviously, here,
everything
nor
the
the
business
Excel
owns,
that's gonna
its
tell me
assets.
the cycle. But
And
this
on the
is
right,
the
we have
photon
everything the
gluon, which
business
we're gonna get more
owns,
into, or the
its liabilities
trigonometries and
and
different
equity.
maths.
Tealicious owes liabilities.
But as you're writing this out, you can just write this on your first page of your boot barn, right? You know, my current cash is your start metrics, not just necessarily any standard metrics Jacobian, but right now under sectors to determine how your credit is out, which sector fell of your company, or yeah, well, most of it's going to be housing. You're debted into probably doing out 1 year notes or something apparently.
Total equity of
That means if it's like I give you $1,000, you give me back $2,000 principal investment in a year, and a lot of those, maybe somebody's got better credit for more than $1,000 in a year. Principal investment back plus the system, but that becomes an issue here in a minute. We're going to be talking about
$169 million and total liabilities and equity of $169 million. The stuff it
you need to know the Fourier transfer to get it down to that level of the mandrel.
The balance sheet
So,
is in balance, which is fantastic news because a balance sheet always has to balance. Why? Because it says so in the accounting.
That's where things get a bit, and that's the first place I usually say that things get interesting, that they have to balance out. Well, in a way that it's still, that the sectors that you claimed that this were still balanced in zero. And okay, there's that notation, but the itemization of its real core value under sector is to say that I can't use what I found in this sector to be as valuable as it was over here, even though it's at value and I have it at hand right now. I'd still have to A delta B that value in order to get it back, and to core the whole company down in that way, and accordion theory there.
Accounting equation. Assets shall
There's
always
another part I
equal
really want to get into about
liabilities
that.
plus equity. Or the stuff that a business owns is equal to the stuff that a business owes. What is an income statement?
You know,
An
not
income
quite the
statement
first part,
is
but it
a
ends
financial
like the
statement
bottom of
that
it or something
summarizes
like
the
that.
business's revenues
It's kind of
and
that core
expenses
thing, but
over a
it was
period
why I
of
found
time.
paychecks
The balance sheet is a
in
snapshot
the
of a
cash
period of time.
balance
Then
of the
income
credit
statement
to
is
be
more like a
comped
video
across the
or a
board instead
boomerang
of the
covering a range
other
of
metric
time.
standard.
The income statement looks like this. As you can see in the header, the income statement covers
This
a
thing.
period of
Before
time.
you get into that
The
other
year ended
ARCUL
December
method
31st.
comparatively to cash method,
And in the body of the
you're,
report, we
why
have a
wouldn't it be in
summary
the
of
cash
revenue
method
earned
that the
and
frame rate of the
expenses
employee is pretty
incurred?
good? Even if I
we
fire
collapse
them
it,
and make
then
it
we
another
find that the
employee,
income statement is
there
really
would be a
showing
subtle
us three
difference between
things.
there, but as far as
Firstly,
demand as the
Tealicious
station
made
is concerned, up or
$255
down,
million
why wouldn't it stay
revenue,
in that
which is
annually
their
or
top line income
contractually
that it earned from
throughout that
selling
system?
products during the year.
like the light bill.
Secondly, it incurred
Okay,
$248
yeah.
million
In a credit way there, I'd rather have that fully disclosed as a known frame rate than for somebody to have it on their balance or their cash balance. But it might be methodology. Also your investing platform, Excel, Word, PowerPoint, C++, Python, whatever is really helping you design it. What's that other one? It's
how much profit the business earned
Trendly?
Trendly. But be careful here, because profit doesn't necessarily translate
to something
cash
really
flow,
good.
which is why
But you need that node blender. This thing is going pretty hardcore.
What is a cash flow statement? A cash flow statement is a financial statement that shows a business.
It's a bit nowadays paper model. Yeah, that's what we do on cash flow here is the nodes that that bit does. And in the way, they're still programmed the same way, but there's an active exponential idle game for it, where that's how you check that. Instead of disclosing it to paper on the paper method here, but you'd still need 80 or 90, 10, right? Just cover military. Democrats no government, Republicans 10% government. Kind of a smart security defense move. You could call 50 states together because you paid a tax for it.
We record an expense. It's nice and simple, but it has its limitations. What if T-Licious makes a large sale, but the customer doesn't pay the invoice?
See, there's another example. That, by being in some of the cash flows, why your core sector failed under the housing and other things, I would imagine, because they were audited on credit, a couple, 2 or 3 of those missed. With a big weights and plates way to play it, even if it played through, it was still a chop on a negative that was fluffed over. Somebody over talked it up, or 5 gigafactories or whatever.
This means that cash inflows and outflows aren't equivalent to revenues.
Notice it's not tic-tac-toe. This thing makes it something different.
Separately in the cash flow statement. A cash flow statement looks like this. In the header, we have the period of time that it relates to.
So would you actually find that this number didn't pack it in, $200,000 duvet, and it one slipped through? Then we need to be more precise at that input node. You want to cut the head off the snake of the boss, or the W-2? Stop putting it in the fucking computer and do it on paper. It's good down here, boss. I just brought the tax dollars to the state troopers barracks at a point in time. You can take it up and down.
$1 million. But how did this come about? This is where the top
same number,
comes in.
Right? I didn't do what you wanted me to do, government.
Investing activities and financing activities. Cash flow from operating activities covers regular business activities. How much cash T-Licious brought in and spent whilst selling tea. T-Licious is using the direct method, so this section mirrors an income statement.
Remember how I said this is your first day where you started to derive the $25,000, not had $1 million or a stable budget sheet. It's still this form. You're just not throwing it in there, not making it stable, because then you're an accelerating moving frame that's in that triple body Fourier transformation in that mandrel. Like, you walked in the door today. Node, all this blender.
All down, then the net cash flow on the top should match up with the net cash flow
You'll figure things out on a learning curve. You'll pick that up. That'll give you better hidden variables too. Why those node points would be programmable source codes in that, well, it's 3-phase. It's high and low, but what you don't pick up is heat, light, and sound. Magnetism, radio, microwave, depending on the right materials that you put into it.
And then we have the income statement, which shows us a business's revenues and expenses over a period of time.
The point in it is that any of those, one of those points is like the core nucleus of it being NP. It can't be one without the other. In 104, 105, or 104, 106, 105 on the particle accelerator there tells me that it's not necessarily a different element.
I've made videos and cheat sheets covering each of these financial statements. You can find links to all of that down in the description. And a big thanks